Look around you, look at the people wasting their days, scrolling through lives that aren't their own, chasing approval that means nothing. Look at the ones who talk big but never move, the ones who dream but never wake up to work. And now look at yourself. Are you any different, or are you trapped in the same cycle, watching, waiting, wanting but never becoming? Let me tell you a truth that most people will never accept. No one is coming to save you. No one is responsible for your success, your growth, or your future except you. You have two choices. You can remain as you are, living a life that is ordinary, predictable, and easily forgotten, or you can rise silently, consistently, relentlessly, until the world has no choice but to take notice. And that's why you need to hear this. That's why you must listen to every word. Because if you truly grasp this message, if you apply it, not just today, but every day, you won't just change, you will shock everyone who ever doubted you. The greatest battle you will ever fight is not against the people who doubt you, the circumstances that oppose you, or even the obstacles that stand in your way. The greatest battle is within yourself. It is a war that begins the moment you open your eyes in the morning and does not stop until you close them at night. And for most people, this battle is lost before the day even begins. You see, the enemy is not out there. It is not some external force preventing you from becoming who you were meant to be. It is not the opinions of others, not your past, not your lack of opportunities. The real enemy is you. It is the voice in your head that whispers, stay comfortable. It is the urge to delay, to make excuses, to settle. It is the part of you that seeks the easy way out. That is the real battle. And let me tell you something. If you do not win this battle, nothing else matters. You can have all the talent in the world, all the resources, all the opportunities, but if you cannot conquer yourself, none of it will make a difference. The reason most people never rise is not because they are incapable, but because they are unwilling to fight the war inside. How many times have you told yourself you would change, that tomorrow would be different, that next week you would start, but tomorrow comes and next week arrives and nothing happens? Do you know why? Because the enemy inside you is stronger than your desire to change. You are comfortable in your weakness. You are comfortable in your excuses. And as long as you stay comfortable, you will never become what you were meant to be. And let me be clear, this battle is not won in a single moment of motivation. It is not won by feeling inspired for an hour or making promises to yourself that you will soon forget. It is won in the daily decisions that no one sees. It is won in the quiet hours when no one is watching. It is won in the moments when you are tired, unmotivated, and tempted to quit, but you choose discipline over comfort. You want to shock the world? You want to be someone they never saw coming? Then stop focusing on them and start focusing on you. Because the truth is, no one is watching you right now. No one cares about what you're doing. No one is expecting you to rise. That's the beauty of being underestimated. There is no pressure, no expectation, no one looking over your shoulder. You are free to build in silence. You are free to struggle, to grow, to break through the chains that have held you back. But that freedom comes with responsibility, because if you do nothing with it, if you continue to live in mediocrity, if you keep blaming everything but yourself, then years from now you will look back with regret, knowing that you could have been so much more, and that regret will haunt you more than any failure ever could. So here is the reality. You either conquer yourself or you will be conquered by yourself. There is no middle ground. Every day you are either winning or losing this battle. Every decision you make, whether to wake up early or stay in bed, to work hard or take it easy, to push forward or to give up, is shaping your future. And if you don't take control now, life will take control for you, and it will drag you in a direction you never wanted to go. But I am not here to tell you what you want to hear. I am here to tell you what you need to hear. You don't need another pep talk. You don't need another person telling you that you're doing fine when you know you're not. What you need is to look in the mirror and tell yourself the truth. You need to face the fact that you have been your own greatest obstacle, and until you confront that reality, nothing will change. But here is the good news. The same person who has been your greatest enemy can become your greatest weapon. The same mind that has kept you weak can be trained to make you strong. The same habits that have held you back can be broken and replaced. You are not trapped. You are not destined to stay where you are, but no one can do the work for you. You must make the choice to fight. And if you choose to fight, if you choose to take this battle seriously, then everything changes. You will wake up with purpose, you will move with discipline, you will no longer care about the opinions of others, because you will be too focused on becoming the person you were meant to be. And when that happens, people will notice. They will wonder what happened to you. They will see the transformation, and it will shock them. But you must understand, this is not a one-time fight. It is a lifelong war. There will be days when you feel weak. There will be moments when you want to give up. But that is when you must remind yourself why you started. That is when you must remember that the pain of discipline is always less than the pain of regret. So make the decision today, right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Choose to conquer yourself. Choose to silence the excuses. Choose to be relentless in your pursuit of growth. Because if you do, the day will come when the world will have no choice but to recognize what you have become. Everywhere you turn, there is noise. The world is filled with voices, distractions calling your name, opinions pulling you in every direction, temptations dragging you away from what truly matters. You live in a time where entertainment is endless, where the pursuit of comfort is glorified, where wasting time has become the norm. And yet people wonder why they are stuck. They wonder why they feel empty, why they cannot seem to break free, why they are always chasing but never arriving. Let me tell you the truth that no one wants to hear. Most people do not fail because they are incapable. They fail because they are too distracted. They waste their time watching others instead of working on themselves. They scroll through lives that are not their own. They compare, they envy, they wish, but they never act. And because of this, they remain exactly where they are. If you want to rise above, if you want to separate yourself from the masses, then you must do what they refuse to do. You must block out the noise. You must silence the distractions. You must train yourself to focus on what truly matters. Because if you do not, the world will steal your time, your energy, and eventually your potential. You have no idea how much you are losing by being distracted. Every moment you spend watching someone else's life is a moment stolen from building your own. Every hour wasted in meaningless entertainment is an hour you will never get back. Every time you let the opinions of others dictate your actions, you are handing them control over your destiny. And the worst part, most people don't even realize it is happening. You think it is harmless to scroll for a few minutes. You think it doesn't matter if you put off your goals for one more day. But what you do not see is that these small distractions, these tiny compromises, they add up. They become a pattern. They become a lifestyle. And before you know it, years have passed, and you are still in the same place, wondering why nothing has changed. But it is not just the distractions of entertainment that are dangerous. It is also the distractions of people. So many of you are trapped in the opinions of others. You live for validation, you seek approval, you measure your worth by how many people notice you, how many people like you, how many people accept you. And because of this, you never fully step into who you were meant to be. Listen to me, the opinions of others do not matter. They do not pay your bills, they do not shape your future, they do not determine your worth. And yet, so many of you are enslaved by them. You are afraid to take risks because someone might judge you. You are afraid to be different because you don't want to stand out. You are afraid to go all in on your purpose because you are worried about what people will say. But let me ask you something. Who are these people? Who are you so afraid of? Are they the ones who will live with your regret? Are they the ones who will suffer the consequences of your inaction? No. When it is all said and done, you will be the one who pays the price for listening to the wrong voices. You will be the one who wakes up one day and realizes you wasted years trying to impress people who never cared in the first place. And this is why discipline is the dividing line, because discipline is what separates those who take control from those who remain controlled. Discipline is what allows you to turn off the distractions, to walk away from the opinions, to focus on what truly matters. And make no mistake, this is not easy. The world will not make it easy for you. Everything around you is designed to keep you comfortable, entertained, distracted. And if you are not intentional, if you are not ruthless with your time, then you will fall into the same trap as everyone else. You want to shock the world? Then disappear for a while. Stop announcing your plans. Stop seeking validation. Stop wasting your energy trying to prove yourself to people who are not even paying attention. Instead, go to work in silence, with focus, with intensity. Let your results be your voice. Let your success be your response. Let your discipline be the thing that speaks for you. Because here's the truth. When you truly change, when you truly grow, you won't have to tell anyone. They will see it, they will feel it, they will notice, and they will be shocked. The same people who overlooked you, who doubted you, who ignored you, will have no choice but to recognize what you have become. But by then, their approval won't even matter, because you will have outgrown the need for it. This is the standard you must hold yourself to. This is the mindset that will separate you. Most people will never do this. They will remain distracted, seeking quick fixes, looking for shortcuts, but not you. If you are willing to shut out the noise, to reject the distractions, to lock in with unshakable focus, then you will rise. And when you do, the world will have no choice but to take notice. There is a lie that has been fed to you since the day you were old enough to listen. A lie that tells you if you want to be noticed, if you want to be respected, if you want to be someone who matters, you have to speak louder, announce your every move, prove yourself to the world. But that is not the truth. That is a distraction. That is a trap. Because real power, real strength, real transformation, it does not need to be broadcast. It does not need to be explained. It does not beg for attention. It simply exists, and when it does, people cannot help but notice. But this generation has been trained to chase validation. People live for approval. They post their progress before they've even made any. They share their dreams before they've done the work. They seek applause for things that haven't even been built yet. And because of this, they waste their energy on the illusion of progress instead of actually making progress. Let me tell you something. If you are truly working, you will not have time to talk about it. If you are truly focused, you will not feel the need to announce it. If you are truly growing, it will be impossible to hide it. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to convince people you are changing. You don't have to waste your breath explaining yourself to those who doubted you. Because when you are serious about your transformation, when you are disciplined, relentless, unstoppable, your results will say everything that needs to be said. There will be people who overlook you. There will be people who assume you will never rise, never break free, never become anything more than what you are now. Let them. Do not waste your energy trying to change their minds. Do not let their doubt push you into a place of desperation where you feel the need to prove yourself. That is not your job. Your job is to work, to build, to grow, and when the time comes, when the results begin to show, they will see it, and when they do, it will shock them. But do you know what's even more powerful? By the time they recognize your growth, you will no longer need their recognition. By the time they see the difference in you, their approval will mean nothing to you. Because true growth does not just change your life, it changes your perspective. It changes what you value, what you focus on, what you give your energy to. And when that happens, the people who once doubted you will no longer matter. There is something sacred about working in silence. There is something powerful about being underestimated, about being ignored. Most people fear it. Most people feel the need to constantly prove that they are doing something. But if you can embrace the silence, if you can disappear for a season, if you can let go of the need to be seen, then when you return, you will not just be different, you will be unrecognizable. The world teaches you that if people do not see your progress, then it does not exist. That if others do not acknowledge your work, then it does not matter, but that is a lie. The greatest transformations happen in the dark. The strongest warriors are forged in battles no one sees. The most unstoppable people are built in seasons of silence, where they choose discipline over distraction, work over attention, focus over validation, and that is what separates the few from the many. Because the many are addicted to attention, they care more about looking like they are making progress than actually making progress. They want recognition more than they want results. But the few, they do not care who is watching. They do not care who notices. They do not care who is paying attention, because they are too focused on becoming the person they were meant to be. And when they emerge, when the work has been done, when the results cannot be ignored, it is not just a transformation, it is a shock. The same people who overlooked them, who doubted them, who assumed they would always stay the same, will not even recognize them. But by then their opinions will no longer matter, because by then the only thing that will matter is the undeniable truth that hard work in silence speaks louder than any words ever could. Most people will never rise above the level of average because they live by the standards set by those around them. They do what is expected. They follow the crowd. They chase comfort. They seek approval. They measure their success by how well they fit in, how much they are liked, how easily they can blend into the world. And because of this, they never become anything more than ordinary. But you are not created to be ordinary. You are not meant to settle for a life that looks like everyone else's. You were not called to move with the crowd, to seek validation, to do what is easy and comfortable. You were called to something greater. And if you want to step into that, if you want to live a life that commands respect, a life that shocks the world, then you must hold yourself to a higher standard. This means doing what others refuse to do. It means rejecting mediocrity, refusing excuses, refusing distractions. It means committing to a level of discipline that will make people uncomfortable. It means working when no one is watching, pushing yourself when no one is telling you to, living with integrity even when there is no reward for it. Because real power, real strength, real success, it is not found in what is easy, it is found in what is hard. But here is the truth. This kind of life is not for everyone. Most people will not choose it. Most people will look at the path of discipline, of sacrifice, of relentless pursuit, and they will walk away because it is too hard, because it is lonely, because it requires too much, and that is why most people never rise. That is why most people never shock the world. But you must decide, do you want to be like them? Do you want to settle for a life that looks like everyone else's, or do you want to separate yourself? Do you want to live with such intensity, such focus, such drive that people have no choice but to notice? Because if that is what you want, then you must understand it will not come easy. It will cost you. It will cost you comfort, it will cost you friendships, it will cost you approval, it will cost you the right to be lazy, the right to make excuses, the right to waste time. You will not be able to live like everyone else. You will not be able to do what they do. You will not be able to follow their path because you are not going where they are going. And they will not understand. They will question you. They will mock you. They will tell you that you are too extreme, too serious, too obsessed. But that is because they do not understand what it takes. They do not understand that greatness is not built in comfort. They do not understand that discipline is the price of success. They do not understand that the only way to live a life worth remembering is to refuse to live like everyone else. So let them talk, let them doubt, let them laugh. Because the day will come when they will see the difference. The day will come when they will realize that while they wasted time, you were building. While they sought approval, you were growing. While they settled, you were rising. And when that day comes, they will have no choice but to respect what you have become. But by then, their respect will not even matter. Because by then, you will have already won.